is just Cass's midlife crisis.
Hey, it's a stream intro about. We could talk about Kess's midlife crisis for the stream intro. Hello, yes. Because Kess gets old and dies. And then everyone on Okampa's dead, right? By the time she gets back?
Yeah. By the time she gets back from Fury, everyone died. So
Well, that's fun.
not only did Janeway fail in her primary mission.
Is there a second half to that sentence?
But she stranded all of her crew.
Yeah, good job, Janeway. Good job, Kathy.
For nothing.
Opportunities later in the show to go back in time and warn their past selves.
Oh yeah, multiple times.
Oh
yeah.
Even
the reason they give for not doing that is because all the Ocampa would die, but then all the Ocampa died anyway.
Yes. Literally, in episode 8, which was supposed to be a soft reboot if the Delta Quadrant angle didn't go out so well. The one was the Romulan guy.
What?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Or they.
Sorry, you go first.
Yeah. They Skyped that Romulan in the past.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, I was going through some editor notes for that, and it turns out it was a chance for the series to soft reboot itself should the premise of being stuck in the Delta Quadrant didn't sell.
Also, Josiah, I'm glad intakes helped. And they helped me as well, just because the Star Trek cast is interesting to watch in their silly moments. It's very Star Trek TNG especially they take themselves very seriously on the show itself. Everyone's very stuffy. Everyone's very formal. And then Patrick Stewart just starts singing. Because he can. Dude's weird.
Oh, are we talking about the Alliances episode?
I mean, you can talk about the Alliances episode. Oh, though, talking about episodes, I should probably talk about what episodes we're watching, which are Fair Trade, Alter Ego, and Coda. Fair Trade is the one where Neelix becomes a drug dealer, apparently. I don't actually remember that bit. I just remember the bit where he gets self-conscious. Alter Ego is the one with the meme about Tuvok and Kim being friends.
Yes.
And then Coda is Janeway's dad, who's not really your dad, but he's a demon, and he makes her think that she's dead so he can eat her soul. Or some such. Star Trek's a weird show.
one of my favorite episodes has photonic life forms having to talk to the Doctor.
Yes. That's certainly some.
I just can't imagine what Voyager would be like if they brought it to the Alpha Quadrant. Because there they'd just be middle of the road Federation starship number 237.
Actually, sorry, I can't believe I actually someone. If they went through the wormhole, they'd be 50 years too early.
Well, then you just take a nap using the nap pods they
Free
had.
tech.
Early or later episode.
Oh my god, that would actually be really sweet. If they actually said, yeah, the reason why the Federation's been kicking so much ass is that we accidentally got tech 50 years ahead of schedule.
Well, I mean, that's what happens in the finale of Voyager, too.
That too.
They make a whole big deal. It's like, oh no, we can't save ourselves because it would mess up the technological timeline. And then she does it anyway. The end of season 7.
So, my huge problem with that is the Borg. So either you get the technology or the Borg gets the technology. And you don't want the Borg to get the technology, do you, Janeway?
High risk, low reward, but it worked out. It's all good.
I'm having a Star Trek Adventures game where I've been called a mass murderer in chat for talking about introducing a virus to the Borg.
Like a geometric virus?
No, a virus that would cause the nanites to...
Hold that thought. Press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Continue. What? What kind of virus?
A computer virus that would make the nanoprobes attack its own central nervous system. So that way it would just turn the brain and spinal cord into puree.
Okay, that's a little villainous, yes. I can see that. Oh god, Neelix, no, I don't want him as a security officer.
Oh God, can you imagine?
He's like, Officer Neelix, space cop.
The
Officer
best
Neelix dies.
He's a
in the
wild card, but he gets the job done.
the the best outcome for that is that he becomes a donut eating rent a cop.
Just gonna show everyone. He's gonna pull out his gun and show everybody. It's like, hey, isn't this cool? Do you like my gun? And he's gonna accidentally shoot someone. You don't trust him
There
with a
has-
gun.
He's
correct me
gonna
if I'm
shoot-
wrong, there
he's
has
gonna
been
shoot-
an episode where like Neelix was tasked with solving a crime.
And then he screwed everything. I think Discord just died. Hang on, Discord's back. Is Discord back? Discord? Discord is back.
Yeah.
Okay. It just died on me for a second. It's okay now.
Neelix would pull out a phaser and accidentally shoot Naomi.
Yeah. It's just just don't give him a gun.
At best, a coil spanner.
I mean, I feel like Neelix is killed before. Given
No,
his history,
he-
is that
Mm.
that suspicious looking,
Didn't
very
he threaten to
defensive
kill Janeway
janitor.
episode 1?
Yeah, like he wanted Voyager to stay off his turf.
His junk. His
Yeah,
literal
taking
junk.
away all of those chips the caretaker brought in or something, right?
Neelix has always struck me as an opossum. Hisses, bares his teeth, but ultimately runs away.
I mean, his whole backstory is yes, he did run away. He was a soldier and then he just ditched. I don't know if we've learned that yet.
The trial was season 2. Yeah, we did.
Okay. It's an interstellar dust cloud. What can you tell us about it? It's dust, Janeway. What do you mean? It's dust. It's called a nebula. Necrid expanse, though. Necrid as in necro as in death. And expanse is in the TV show. So it's it's a little ominous. I'm not sure why they called the cloud Death Cloud. It's probably fine, though.
I mean, why do they call it the Devil's Triangle?
Why do they call it the Devil's Lettuce?
Discovered it.
So anyway, how's the weather?
Kind of nice. Ryan, what's the delay on the stream? I want to make sure I have my timestamps right.
It is currently 4:05, 4:06, 4:07, 4:08, 4:09.
Okay. I can't adjust it too much. I'll just pretend I'm not 6 seconds ahead of everybody.
You could
There
also
goes-
sync to the timestamp that is in Discord.
Oh, okay.
Which was there before Discord crashed on me for a second. Uncool. Rewatched the first episode of Strange New Worlds yesterday. It's pretty good. It's a good show.
Yeah. I like I had I showed some of the later episodes to my friend who hasn't watched a lot of new Star Trek, and he liked them.
The only episode of Strange New Worlds I didn't like, and I don't mean like, oh, the writing's bad. It's just I objectively hated one character so much that I didn't like the episode as a result. So that's good writing.
I think I think
Which episode?
out of
It's Omila's, the lift is not from suffering.
Oh, did you
I
hate
think
the the lady? I don't know her name.
I hated her because she was such a. If you're working that hard to fix a solution, why not tell people about it?
It's already fixed. They fixed it.
I know they fixed it, but she's like, but we're trying to come up with better solutions. I'm like, bullshit, honey, you're not.
I think the worst episode of Strange New World was the first one, which wasn't necessarily a bad episode, but they had to like introduce the entire cast
Mhm.
and do a plot line and like pick up after Discovery, and that was just kind of a lot to do in 1 hour.
But the best episode was the story time episode.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was
Oh,
amazing.
was it better? But is that actually the best episode? Is that would
Yes,
you say that better? Yeah, that was a good episode.
it's
it's the
when the
best
first
episode.
time. It's the first time TV's made me cry in 5 years. So that's something.
Did you cry
And then
when Captain Pike betrayed them? Was that the point?
No, no, I cried about
Oh,
something else.
and then they and then right after the nice story time episode was that terrifying alien episode.
yeah.
Although the one that I enjoyed the most was the Serene Squall, the pirate episode.
Pirate episode was fun.
Yeah.
It all went according to plan. Mostly.
Uh,
Till the end.
this
So we
so
have Delta Quadrant Odo now.
this this space station, just comparing it to, the awesome DS9 space station sets, like, obviously, this was just sort of for a one-off, but it is just so much worse, you know?
Hmm.
Why is the stream dead? I think my internet people are, killing my internet again. Uncool.
Comcast.
Suddenlink, whose slogan is "We're connected," and no, we're not. They lied to me. And also, yes, that set. I'm certain we've seen that set multiple times. I can't remember specifically where, but it looked extremely familiar.
This is a pretty impressively large hallway.
Yeah.
This one's a
Is
bit
it?
better. It's it gives me kind of, Encounter at Farpoint vibes, which is not good.
What do you mean it's not good?
I mean, Farpoint Station, like, when we see the set, with people walking around on it, it's just kind of weird. Like it's you can really kind of tell that it's just sort of this room. They maybe put up a couple of pillars, and then it's just some plants and boxes.
But where's
And
our Grappler's Horn?
yeah, yeah,
Groppler Zorn, the most sci-fi name in the entire series.
like they the Federation there was basically like going to buy a farmer's market that just sort of produced nice fabric or something.
I
I
don't
think
know
they were
why
actually
everyone is so
inducting
into
them.
shopping in Star Trek when they have replicators. Why do they care?
Yeah,
Well, I think the same reason why Picard has a vineyard. People are going to pay primo for artisanal objects.
does Picard
Oh
really
no,
need the
this is
vineyard
getting
as
out of
like a
hand.
source of income though, or does he just do that for fun?
Well, also the bad optics of having Romulans that you specifically brought over to work on your vineyard.
Yeah, what are Picard's immigrant low-wage servants getting out of the deal? Do they want to be there, or is he what's going on?
Picard doesn't strike me as the kind of person who would allow people to work for him out of a sense of gratitude.
Neelix is just like, so yeah, I basically run the entire ship. I'm basically the captain. Everyone does what I say.
God, there's two of them now.
You know, if you don't look at Neelix, the species doesn't look that bad.
Are you saying Neelix isn't handsome? He's not beautiful?
Neelix is honest. He's one of the better looking uh, alien characters from this era. Ethan Phillips had to go through probably just a really
Oh,
stupid amount of makeup every morning.
God. I feel sorry for anyone who has to do anything more than a nose ridge.
Yeah. Like they could have just given him a nose ridge or forehead ridges. He had to go with the cone head.
Yeah, this is past the chase, I think. I feel like if they just gave him packlet eyebrows, different colored eyes, and then something about the nose, they could run with that.
Are we including the mutton chops? Because the mutton chops are important. Except they're not really mutton chops, because they go down his jawline, not his... What do they call it? Sideburns.
But they're too. I kind of want to call it a neck beard because of how low it is.
He loves his neck beard. All the cool Talaxians have one. You're right, Neelix, we don't need you. You just showed up, you just invited yourself. Started
Ryan, I
taking up
feel
all the
like
water.
we've seen you get increasingly pissed at Neelix over the course of this watch along.
Neelix
Wow.
is
And you
Like
called me offensive about my Klingon disdain.
like
I did
I
compliment his mutton chops.
maybe I'm reaching a little bit here, but I feel like at the beginning you were at the very least neutral about Neelix.
Well, it had been a while, like multiple years, since I had to sit through his entire emotional abuse of Kess.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mellowed on him. And then we rewatched all of season 1 and 2. It's like, no, I hate this man. He gets better as the series goes on, so I'll start to hate him less. But
Wait,
God,
is
he
this
was just the
Vork's?
worst.
Is this Vork's inaugural episode?
Maybe. Let me look it up. Star Trek Vorik. Not to be confused with Torik.
Did you hear that? Did you see that one post that was like, so if like Vulcans have like one or two syllable names that start with S, like Cybok or Sarek or Spock, then there could very much be a Vulcan named Shrek.
It'd be amazing. Also, I looked up, and yes, this is Vorik's first episode. He has a total of 8 episodes throughout the series, starting here, ending with a Renaissance Man.
Vorik would be a pretty fun little background character, except the one episode I think, that it was the Vorik episode was the Vorik's too horny and he's gonna die episode.
You know,
Oh God,
say
look
what
at
you
this
will
guy's beard. It's
about
so long.
say what you will about Vulcans and Ponfar, the fact that they're just repressed in everything makes me like them a little bit more than just being smug, pointy-eared hobgoblins.
Yeah, in reality, they're smug, pointy-eared hobgoblins who are really horny all the time.
Not all the time.
Yeah, not
They
all
just
the
make up
time,
for all
but
the time that they're not. I like this guy's beard. I like how it's longer.
Yeah.
I think that's... Need to grow his out.
I
Oh,
feel like
now
if
we're
they
doing
braided,
drugs.
so I feel like if they braided that centerpiece and added some sort of ornamentation on it, it could really flesh out some Talaxian dress. You know what I mean?
Neelix, we have to cook.
And plus,
Felix,
it would
we just
mean
need one more batch. If we can pay off the
plus,
ship.
why doesn't he wear a hairnet?
Because he's gross. He's a hobbit.
Can Talaxians go bald? Do they lose hair?
Is it technically a ponytail if they don't have hair on the sides of their head?
I think that's called an undercut, or is this technically a mohawk?
Don't go to the cops,
It's
Neelix. We can handle
it's.
this.
Don't worry, Neelix. It's medicinal.
I know what I'm doing.
It's legal in Colorado, Neelix.
Why is there a Cardassian freighter in the background?
Boo.
Are they reusing ships again?
Unbelievable.
How dare
You
they?
think you can slip something like that?
Well, I mean, it's
Bias
about. Well,
CBS.
hold on. It's entirely possible that it got sucked in through the caretaker, and the crew's dead, and a bunch of aliens stole it.
A
No,
bunch of
no.
Talaxians?
There's like there's a parallel storyline like with Equinox where it's just this one sucky Cardassian ship going through the Delta Quadrant.
I would unironically love like a short comic where they run into a ship and the ship's like, "We need help," and they're like, nope," and they just fire the photon torpedoes.
They were able to get here ahead of Voyager because they didn't stop every 30 seconds to answer random distress calls or investigate anomalies.
Like it turns out they actually beat Voyager by 2 years. Like they're 7 years. They got home in 4 years, and everyone's like wondering how the fuck did you get here so quickly? You're like, yeah, we just didn't stop and used all the resources that we had.
Captain Janeway's like that
Don't
like
worry, Neelix. It's just for self-defense.
when you play an RPG and you don't do you barely make any main progress on the main story because you just are too busy with the side quests.
I feel
I have a
like
quick
by
question.
yeah,
How did that guy know where the gun is? Because this is a runabout or a Voyager shuttle.
Maybe it's just a galactic um moray where you always keep the gun in the random side console cabinet.
I totally feel like Neelix just showed him where everything was. Like, oh
Including the
yeah,
gun?
yeah, fire extinguisher gun in case Seska shows up again.
Wait, it's a lovely two-bedroom in the middle of suburbia. Here we have a lovely half bath. Here's where we keep the gun.
You laugh, but
Ooh,
I actually read an article about someone shooting a home intruder with his shower gun.
The Pill by Dre.
Oh, don't say it like that.
Yeah, no, don't let them take you to a secondary location.
He was putting his hand on the gun, so he knew something was up. Neelix didn't. Because he's Neelix.
One thing you have wrong. This isn't Neelix. He violently explodes.
So, I know this sounds strange, but how come just simply scanning the area with a tricorder didn't pick up the suspects and perpetrator?
They were sending out false sensor images with Thoron shadows.
Yeah, but like, look how hairy they are. Like, at least a strand came out during that tussle.
Neelix, have you been smuggling narcotic
Oh, Neelix,
tubes?
you don't understand. We need to get in the business. We
Were
need to
you
corner
trying
the
to
market.
sell the? Were you trying to sell them an internet?
Yeah, this place called the Silk Road in the Alpha Quadrant.
No, they were selling them a series of tubes.
In over your head, Neelix. You need me.
I know that sounds kind of strange, but I feel like if Janeway had maybe an ounce of more pragmatism and an ounce less of empathy, she would have kicked him off by the second season.
I feel like if that was the case, she never would have met Neelix because she would have just gone home.
We all know that really, after this episode, Wix will clean his act up and start an extremely profitable and annoying web hosting business.
Although I do have a question. With replicator technology, there would actually be a huge problem with narcotics, wouldn't there? Or any sort of substance abuse.
You can program them not to make drugs, but also maybe drugs are legal in the Federation and everyone's high all the
Yeah,
time.
drug-fueled space communism. A murder.
Oh, wow, he's tall.
Does he? I can't really get a good view of his feet. Is he on, like, stilts? Big platform boots?
That could be.
How tall? I mean, Kate Mulgrew isn't really abnormally tall, right?
No,
Like she could just
Janeway's
be
like...
someone of like average height.
Janeway's like, what, 5'8", 5'10"?
Yeah, and so that could just be like a taller actor.
Oh my god, she's 6 inches taller than me.
Janeway... Oh, no, never mind. She's only 5'5".
Too.
Tuvok totally knows it's Neelix. Look at his face. He's so pissed.
He reminds me of a Who. Not Neelix, but the other alien man. Tall man.
Tuvok?
No, not Tuvok. Tuvok doesn't look anything like a Who. He's probably never even been to Whoville.
Oh, wow. You just sent me back to pre-K.
Pre-K? You don't watch Whoville every year?
You haven't been going to Ryan's secret Whoville watch along?
No, I just haven't read any of the Dr. Seuss's since, like, pre-K. Okay, yeah, we need more Vulcans in security.
Let's see. Voyager is missing a gun. We've had exactly one visitor, who's your friend who we've never met before. It's a mystery. Yeah, we don't know. Could be anyone. It's probably Vorik.
Yeah.
You've been
That's why
smiling too much. He's emotionally compromised.
we know it's Vorik because he didn't exist before this episode and he got a name. Therefore, he's a primary character and he's going to be the villain.
And
Probably.
he was quietly introduced in the first or second act.
My God.
Can you imagine if Betazads went into security?
Can you
I think
imagine
they
doing an
did.
interrogation as a romantic moonlit dinner? Candlelit dinner? This is
Well,
so
I mean,
intimate.
there is that one joke about Captain Jellicoe interrogating the Cardassians during Chain of Command.
What's the joke? What did he do?
So this ties it back into DS9 stuff, which came years after, right? And in an O'Brien Must Suffer episode, it's discovered that Cardassians flirt by arguing and being very
Oh, God.
confrontational. And what was Jellicoe doing all throughout Chain of Command Part 1 and 2?
He was seducing the Cardassians.
Aggressively.
Is that Alf?
Now,
Is that Alf's skull sitting on the table being used as a
hold on.
decorative lighting piece?
And it gets even better because Troy deadass says, yeah, Jellicoe has no idea what he's doing during an interrogation.
He's just so flustered. He's so pretty. He doesn't know how to talk to cute Cardassians.
Oof. You know, say what you will about Voyager, their discussion about drugs and inner-city violence actually has some really good points.
Is it better than TNG's drug episode?
Other than Denise Crosby being caught on camera waving at the cast and crew goodbye, maybe.
Because most of what I remember is Tasha sitting Wes down and being like, they make you feel good, but it's not real, Wes.
Okay, we can't really harp on that. That was the Just Say No era.
Yeah. It was the Star Trek Dare program.
But
The
I can
after-school
say
drug special.
what I can say is that I really do love how Picard handled it, which is, yeah, they won't get their drugs, they'll go through withdrawal, and then they won't die.
I still
Yeah.
can't get over the fact that the drugs are called tubes.
Called what?
They're called tubes.
Toogs.
Yeah, he's like smoking blunts and touching tubes. Total tube head. It's tubular.
The internet is a series of drugs.
Yeah.
What has Neelix been co-opted into doing here?
He's a drug dealer.
Selling, yeah,
Drug
he's
dealing.
selling drugs.
He's the Jesse of the situation.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right.
Neelix, we need to cook.
Okay, do you think Paris has done drugs?
No, we don't want
Yes.
Neelix cooking. We've had enough Leola root.
Oh god.
Neelix was
Don't buy all your
chili
Leola
powder
root in
all
one
his
place. It looks
tubes.
suspicious.
He's got
Smaller
got, like,
purchases,
powdered
different farmers
Leo-
markets.
powdered Leola root that's blue. No, thank you. No, thank you. No,
He
no
gives-
more Leola root.
He starts
Neelix, we need to steal a barrel of tublamine.
He's got the purest Leola root in the sector.
Ah, man.
What was his drug kingpin name? Cochrane?
Ne- n- I don't-
Oh, you know, he just committed treason. Light treason.
And then he
He
got
got
sent to
caught.
New Zealand.
Yeah,
Or it's-
beautiful New Zealand.
I know, like, is that supposed to be, like, a deterrent? No wonder the Maquis has such high recruitment rates.
He literally was convicted of treason. And it's just fine.
It literally looked like a child's summer camp where he was.
Neelix is like the worst criminal ever, too. Like, he is he's acting so suspicious. He's clearly
Tom, you're a criminal. What would you do if
Doing
your
some
friend,
bad stuff.
you know, hypothetically, if your friend wrangled you into a drug dealing scheme, stole a gun, and murdered a man? Hypothetically.
Yeah, hypothetically, what if I just committed several felonies in the name of tubes? Always chasing my his next tube.
Okay, I may be obsessed with operational security, but I would not allow him to bring that bag into engineering on account that I don't think he would steal anything. I just think he would knock something over.
They don't have anything sitting on these counters because everything gets knocked over whenever the ship runs rolls over the curb and stuff.
God, they don't even have bungee cords for barrels. You're right.
God, he plays the exact same character as TNG. He didn't change anything about him.
What was his TNG character again?
Torek.
Oh, of course.
He has the exact same mannerisms. What's this dramatic music for?
He's
He's
stealing plasma.
he's in the tubes, and it's reminding him of the tubes that
Like,
he
This
killed a
device,
man for.
this. Sorry, go ahead.
so he's stealing maybe 10 ounces of warp plasma. And then in
Yeah.
Dead Stop, they're like selling 100 liters of warp plasma.
Yeah,
Done
we can
deal.
spare it.
No. This prop has been different things throughout the years. That piece of equipment in that Jeffrey's tube, I think we see that in the episode where the time agent is sabotaging Voyager. That's
Yep.
where they're sabotaging
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah.
it. But yeah, Dead Stop, right?
Yes. 100
From
liters of warp plasma.
Enterprise, 100 liters. I was just thinking about that episode today for some reason. I don't know why.
I was watching a review of it and I was wondering about a plot hole that I was thinking of. And I'm like, oh, wait, no, that actually makes sense. Continue.
So I'm assuming my headcanon is that the warp plasma is kind of like the refrigerant in your air conditioner in that it's never consumed. It's just recycled over and over again. So
Speaking
you
of being
have the
recycled over and over again, we've definitely seen this set before.
Yeah. Do you know what it reminds me of? Avalon 5.
Babylon 5. I was
So
thinking
like
that staircase reminds me of Romulus.
so the warp core, right? So you have the reaction in the warp core generates energy, and then the warp plasma just acts as a conductor to the nacelles. Basically, it's my perspective, and it just recycles.
Is
Like
there
it.
is there a canon use for warp plasma?
Well, I assume it carries the energy from the warp reactor to the nacelles. So it's
And
like
I thought of something similar where I thought it was like a water cooled PC.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, but in reverse. Like
Mhm.
yeah, more or less, yeah.
So, hang on. Their punishment for murder here is 50 years of cryostatic suspension. But from the prisoner's point of view, they go in and they get right back out.
Well,
Right.
okay.
But
Have you
everybody
seen?
else that they care about is dead or moved
Yeah,
on or
screw 'em.
whatever.
Well, wait a minute. You just make the victims forget who the perpetrator is.
What? No? What?
Okay, so if you had your pocket picked, and then when you're like 20, right? But when you're 70, are you gonna remember that time that you had your pocket picked when you're 70, 50
Ah.
years later?
Yeah.
And then
I don't think in this case the victim's going to remember because the victim was murdered.
yeah.
Feels unlikely.
So the Delta Quadrants always struck me as being more pragmatic than Alpha and Beta. Like, would they really waste resources putting people on ice when they could just kill them?
I did it for the tubes.
You try to steal my product.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the 50 years is for the drug trafficking. It's not even for the murder. They don't even care.
Oh my god.
It was in self-defense. They said so. They're trustworthy.
You sure about that, bud? Okay, we're doing a plea deal. Got it. I can't take them seriously. They literally look like they're hobbits looking over the bar in the Prancing Pony.
You know, if they just sat in chairs, do you think their legs would, like, dangle? Damn it, you're right.
The name's Underhill. Neelix Underhill.
That stranger in the corner. Oh, he's one of them rangers, but we call him Strider.
He's one of them
doesn't
Fenris Rangers.
Neelix doesn't need any weapons other than his own 2 hands and his signature karate kick.
Unrelated. Is everyone happy with how Strange New Worlds handled the Gorn?
Eh,
It was weird. But then the Gorn were weird when they were introduced. Just weird in a different way.
For me, it kind of, I don't know, made Kirk seem better in hindsight, saying, I looked at him and all I felt was fear, and it's just some guy in a rubber suit.
Moving at half a mile an hour.
Captain Kirk has a deep-seated fear of people in rubber suits after he ran into some when he was very young at Space Disney World.
I was going to say, like, Risa, but then I immediately remembered, wait, there are no children on Risa, are there?
That just reminds me of the episode Justice, where Wesley's like, oh, there are some games I haven't learned yet on the Gene Roddenberry planet. Thinks all the other children are coming on to him, and it's weird.
It is.
Here's a cylinder with a glowing light bulb in it.
Here's a tube to replace the ones we lost.
Let's hope Heisenberg doesn't take our kneecaps or something.
This is not war plasma.
Wait, is that trilithium?
I don't know, but is that guy a Nausicaan?
He sure as hell looks like one. He's missing the 4 tusks coming into the mouth.
It's very similar to Nausicaan.
He's a declawed Nausicaan.
Defanged.
Neelix, come on, man.
If you actually had to redesign the Kazon, would you just literally just make them people in weird, ratty outfits?
I don't know what we're supposed to think about the Kazon, because they have starships, and yes, they're stolen, but they know how to fly starships.
Wait, is it the Veron T disruptor?
It might
Yeah, I
be.
think so.
Oh my god!
There were only 6 ever made, and
It's
one of them
like-
made it into the Delta Quadrant.
He literally was like,
It is.
"This
It
is not
actually
warp,
is.
not even warp plasma."
Oh my god, because in the episode with the Veron T Disruptor, the dude says, like, oh, he owns 5 out of 6 of them. Here's number 6. We found it.
I'll sleep with this one under my bed.
I didn't think the people in this region had transporters. Why does this guy got a transporter?
Yeah, they literally like, with your transporter technology earlier this episode. Wow, Breaking Bad really did plagiarize the scene. They should sue.
Hey, if
Say
that
my
not
name.
Nas, hey, if that not
Neelix.
Nausicaan redoes his tie and then immediately dies.
Only 5 were ever produced. 4 of them owned by Kivas Fajo. Sorry, go ahead.
So if that Nausicaan dies after readjusting his suit, then they owe HBO, whatever it is, a check.
Yeah.
No, 47. Oh, shh.
Breaking
Wow, look at that CGI.
And the fact that Neelix is
Okay.
unscathed,
The
unfortunately.
other guy got vaporized.
Is there a website that tracks props and you can find all the
Yes.
scenes for props?
Yes.
X asterisk
am-
Scientia is one of them.
Oh, thank you.
I am specifically very... There's one prop that I adore and everyone seems to ignore it. It's this weird... So you know those marathon ice cup marathon drinks where it's in a snow cone glass?
No, but
Uh,
continue.
Okay, so it's roughly in that shape. It's made of metal, and there's like a holder for it. And it's appeared twice. One in the episode where it's facing the enemy was Troy, and then Chain of Command was Madred. And I adore that drinking glass so much.
Oh, it's like a cone shape.
Yeah.
The only drinking glass I remember with Madrid was egg-shaped.
Are you thinking of the thermos?
No, I'm thinking of the actual egg that Picard drank out of, because it was an egg.
It wasn't even... Oh, God, it was still alive.
Live Taspar.
Hey, Ryan, this is that point that I mentioned earlier before the stream.
0 punishment?
No, the indentured servitude.
Ah. Why is Neelix one of her most trusted advisors?
Because she knows that she could take him. Without a question, without a shadow of a doubt, if it came down to it, she could kill him.
So that whole, oh, I've never lied to you before, Captain. That's another thing where Ethan Phillips is doing his portraying Neelix as if he's in love with Janeway. Which apparently he said is just what he did. He loves her.
I'm sure to a point he is, right? Free water, free food, free everything. Sorry to jump in. Hi, I'm new.
If we put Neelix in the replicator, he could be free food.
This is a good point.
You know,
What kind of food would he be?
not to
Oh
sound
my God.
morose,
She said the thing.
but no, there won't.
So what's not morose?
So you know how they always shove dead bodies into torpedo tubes and then jettison them?
Yeah?
Well, why don't they just shove them into the replicator?
That's what I said in one of my videos. Just recycle them.
He did a whole video on it.
Free energy.
He wants to turn dead bodies into chicken nuggets.
Wait.
It's Soylent Green. It's Soylent Ryan.
Well, okay, here's the thing. If someone dead ass gave me an arm to eat, I'm not gonna eat that. But like,
Red shirts
Resequence the
taste
proteins.
delicious.
Make it
Hold
chicken
on,
nuggets.
What if it was a dead arm, but with ranch?
Would you guys eat your own arm, like if it just like fell off, like if you had leprosy?
No.
So there was
Okay.
a guy who had to have his leg amputated, and he kept the leg and he made fajitas and served it to himself and his friends.
With their knowledge and consent.
Like yeah,
Yes, with their knowledge and
yeah,
consent.
like
Okay.
you
Every
can give consent to eat your own body, unlike any other animal. You know,
And there's people who eat the placenta, which is weird.
I would eat my own placenta for sure.
Not eating your
Okay.
placenta, you haven't got a womb.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But can you imagine like the first thing a child does is just immediately start gnawing on their own placenta, and everyone takes like little pictures of
Delicious.
it, like, oh, it's so cute.
He's a hungry boy.
God.
You will
He's a
grow up to be
growing
strong.
boy.
I'm sorry. I think evolutionarily speaking, humans had the short end of the stick. We don't have anything cool about us.
We have
We
the
got
placenta,
thumbs.
the most edible organ.
I thought it was the liver. It was a Chianti and a side of fava beans.
Also, 1 minute to the next episode, Alter Ego. Everyone queue up. And prepare for the meme. I don't know
No.
how far into the episode it is. I'm guessing
Yes.
like 15 minutes.
I am gonna put my money on, let's see, the cold open, then the intro. I'm gonna guess 12 minutes, 38 seconds.
Okay.
Ryan, what are you going to do with the triangle ship counter when we run out of triangle ships?
Well,
The Gorn count?
I don't know when the last triangle in Voyager is. I know there's more. I know there's
We
none
should-
in TOS. I don't know.
We should keep
The
we- yeah,
shirtless
we
Kirk
should-
counter?
We should look up the last appearance of the triangle ship and then give it a little send off.
Hang on, press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Yeah, we need to do something special for the last triangle. That just looks like neurons. Is this gonna be a living cloud?
What is an inversion nebula? How can you invert a nebula? It's a cloud of dust. There's no inside and outside.
You go inside and it inverts your body.
It's like a negative photo of a nebula. Or like it's just upside down.
By the time, never mind. By the time they get back to the Alpha Quadrant, I was gonna try and make a link between the nebula flaring up and Janeway having hot flashes, but yeah, I couldn't find the combination of words that would make that funny.
So is this still the Necrid Expanse?
I don't know.
I think the Necrotic Expanse doesn't exist anymore. I think it was a one episode thing, and now there's no reference to it ever again.
Do you think Tuvok has played Jenga?
I think it would be beneath him.
Do you
I think he plays Calto.
yeah,
like Jenga.
yeah. So do you think he ever
there we
tried
go.
Jenga? Like, do you think a friend maybe like recommended he look at Jenga, and he's like, I'll give it a try.
Did you just describe that as Vulcan chess?
Yes, he compared it to chess as tic-tac-toe.
That looks like that's not even close to chess. What are you talking about?
If anything,
So how close is Vulcan chess to future three-dimensional chess?
not at all. And first of all, this is probably just Vulcan solitaire.
Good analogy.
I can see the interlacing when he starts moving his hand too quickly. That's fun. Slow and steady, Tuvok.
Interlacing?
Yeah, there's a little interlacing every so often. Not all the time. but some of the time.
You know, when he did that thing with his fingers on his chest, it looked like he was playing a saxophone or something.
Is there something wrong with your feelings? Is there something wrong with you?
So this is where
Why
I had
would
to call.
Kim go to Tuvok to talk about his love life?
What he's gonna do? Talk to the computer about it?
He wants to
Not
purge
only is he
most
having
of the feel.
emotions, he's having emotions for a hologram.
I
Listen,
mean, I guess
I'm
who else could he talk to? Tom?
This has happened.
Hologram
Tom would just
version
steal
of
his
Barclay.
holographic girlfriend.
yeah, he would.
But Tuvok
mean-
does steal his holographic girlfriend.
Well, there you
They
go.
talk to holographic Barclay. They have a lot in common.
Yeah, this has happened so many times. You think like you're given like a like
I'm
The
turning you
E-
up, Tegan. I can barely hear you.
the EMH has like a little like box of pamphlets in his office, and he's like, and they're like, "So you've fallen in love with a hologram?"
You know, after 70 years, I feel like he would have begun doing that.
It's just so darn convenient to have a programmable partner.
And then like right next to the like, "You've fallen in love with a hologram" box of pamphlets, there's like a second box of pamphlets, and it's like, "So your hologram has become self-aware and demands rights," and like that one, he emptied that one out.
No. He wrote that one specifically after author.
He's yeah, he rewrote it to give more pro hologram advice.
Trap
Pro
Moriarty.
hologram propaganda.
Is there a toilet in sickbay?
It should
No.
be.
Yeah, like if you're in the hospital, like there are toilets in the hospital.
Yes, there are also bedpans and emesis bowls.
Yeah, so like I was talking with some friends about this theory I had that using transporter technology, they just beam the poop out of everyone, and every chair can function as a toilet, and so you can just take any scene where they're on a starship and just imagine them pooping themselves, and that can be canon.
Hey, in Discovery, that could be after season 3.
They do the thing that they do in Harry Potter, where they just relieve themselves where they stand and use the transporter to remove all evidence.
Yeah.
God. You know what I think would have been really interesting here? Tuvok, I need your help to get rid of emotions, to get rid of hologram feelings. No, existential dread.
My mind to your mind.
He's like, "I'm sorry, Kim, I can't help you, for we are in love with the same hologram."
Isn't he a married man?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why he
what
only
makes it even more of a
mates
twist.
with a hologram of his wife. Is it cheating if it's a hologram of your wife?
Well,
Is that fine?
okay,
No.
as a woman, if you have pictures of your wife, it's not.
No! Get out of here, Neelix. Directed
Oh
by
my
Robert
gosh.
Picardo.
Huh.
Wow, I didn't know that any of the Voyager.
Neelix,
No, I
you
was thinking
don't
of
need to
Enterprise. Maybe the
change.
Enterprise people got to do.
You don't
Damn.
need to you don't need to change that light bulb, Neelix. That's just the sun.
Well, I think he just wanted her to be leaning above him with her arms up.
But he can
What
have her
were
do
they
whatever he
doing
wants.
there?
She's a hologram. She doesn't exist.
Yeah, why are they doing any set dressing?
Just tell the computer. What are you doing?
Although I could see this as being medically necessary for like psychological reasons, like we need to pretend slightly that we are in hell.
Marina's like 15 years older than him.
Kes needs to fix her posture.
Well, I mean, she's not human. For all we know, they Ocampans and their weird, messed up biology have weird gremlin postures.
That is fair.
I'm thinking more
But
like
there's that episode
woman.
in Next Generation where all humanoid species are seeded from the same race, so I would assume.
I think they can, if they can have forehead ridges, they can have different posture.
If Cardassians have 2 sets of rib cages.
Cardassians have 2 rib cages.
Yeah. There's a
Enough to
scene in Way of the
heart.
Warrior where Garrick gets his shit kicked in by Klingons. And then Bashir just offhandedly says, oh, by the way, all of your transverse ribs are fractured.
Oh.
Broke 7 of your transverse ribs and fractured your clavicle. Ah, but I got off several cutting remarks. No doubt did serious damage to their ecos.
So, as someone who had just completed the evolutionary history of tetrapods for a college course, I had a conniption about that.
About dealing serious damage to people's egos? Why?
Transverse ribs.
Wait, did we just miss the meme?
No, they haven't
Did they
done it
just-
yet.
Okay.
There it is.
Yes! I wouldn't do that to you.
9 minutes, 2 seconds.
There
Damn
we
it.
go. What was the pitch for this?
So-
Why did they make this an episode? Why? Why?
So
Why? They could have done any episode other than this
Why not?
episode.
Bathing
What
suit.
was the pitch they said no
Bathing
to?
suits.
Evil
So who would
woman in
make
a
the
bathing suit
tastiest
hologram.
recycled
Come on.
protein?
I'm sorry, Robocorps, what'd you say?
Who would make the tastiest recycled protein?
Him.
Kim?
Yeah, look at him. You know how pigs kind of taste kind of good because of their higher fat content?
Are you calling Kim fat?
Are you calling him a pig?
Or are you calling
he-
him a snack?
Are we gonna eat him?
No, but he does. He
You'll
does
just be
have
hungry later.
no, but he does have that baby face, and he's not as toned as everyone else.
I guess. Ah, let's go for Naomi Wildman because, people love veal.
I'm gonna order pizza. Who wants pizza?
Me.
I'm afraid my cannibalism jokes have turned me off from eating for the next few hours.
I don't want to small thing like cannibalism stand on your appetite.
I was going to make some chicken fried
Hey.
rice, which includes having the meat of a chicken as well as the unborn fetus of a chicken mixed together with some
But
gravy.
not
Let's
very
just say boneless chicken.
Oh, there's an actual dish in Japan, called parent and child soup, where it includes chicken and egg.
Yeah, a lot
Oh,
of things
shit, I
include
can-
chicken and egg. They go great
I
together.
completely
We do
forgot
it all the
this
time. We
deal
eat red chicken.
was even in the episode. I can't wait to see how this combines with Kim's holographic love life at the climax.
We coat chicken in the unborn child and fry it all the time.
Yeah.
Is it weird that I would love to have a Bake Off episode, like a straight up British Bake Off episode, but it's just the Alpha Quadrant?
No, the Neelix cooking show, like the Neelix Bake Off episode, I think is something we've discussed a little bit before, and I think we agree that would all be a better episode than an episode like this.
Would the Klingons be invited? Because they don't cook. Would they just slaughter a pig and say, here, food?
Yeah.
I feel like the Voyager has encountered so many of these random spatial phenomenon. Like, there's got to be at least one where they go back to the Alpha Quadrant and they're like, "Oh, you risked all of you risked your lives for this thing." Oh, well, the Melbourne actually got observed the same
The
phenomenon.
Melbourne
and they're
got
reading-
cooked itself.
Oh, wow.
It's so weird seeing an alien in regular human clothing.
Tom started the Smash meme.
Also, Scoopy, you might be joking about which do you add first to parent or child soup, but no, seriously. It's a legitimate question for me today. Do I add the chicken or the egg first?
Egg. Binding.
But I added the egg first yesterday, and it got a little overcooked, so I need to adjust something.
I feel like you should cook your chicken first to the point where it's just, edible, and then throw it in the last 3 or 4 minutes to get that crispy edges.
Okay.
So I have a question. Is what he's doing comparable to like a bunch of Western people culturally appropriating yoga?
I mean, it's not really culturally appropriating if the dude who actually practices it told you to. But otherwise, yes. Yes, it is. Harry, don't you have a job?
I mean, he's an ensign. I'm pretty sure his work duty's kind of light.
He's an ensign, but he's also on the senior staff, and he also takes commands sometimes, but he's never gets a promotion.
If they just said no, Harry Kim would be one of our most decorated officers if it wasn't for his alcoholism.
Harry Kim's just on a space internship.
In season 7, literally his mom's like, "Hi, can I talk to your captain about maybe talking you into a promotion?"
Captain, we have an
talks
incoming
about,
hail. Put it through.
He tells that to Janeway too, and it's like, we were back home, I'd be a lieutenant commander, president commander by now.
Captain, we've been trying to reach you about your starship's extended warranty.
Oh, God. Ooh, this did not age well.
What do you
Because
mean?
when they got sent to the Delta Quadrant, they used up all the miles on their warranty. So
Isn't it weird how so much of
All the
like
light
that
years.
faux South Pacific culture has been appropriated by white supremacy?
Wait, when you're calculating
Oh,
miles
wow.
for something that moves at relativistic speeds, what distance are you using? Because there's whole like space contraction if you're moving at relativistic speeds.
Wait, did you just watch Lightyear?
No, was that a thing?
That was a plot point in the Buzz Lightyear movie.
Yeah, like are we using the distance the spaceship travels according to like an observer on Earth or the observer on the ship? How do we calculate mileage? Directed by Robert Picardo.
Oh, God damn it, we didn't deserve him. Picardo, Mulgrew.
Star Trek Picardo, if only. My God, she's playing Vulcan chess.
Oh, no, is this where we're going now? There's a weird love triangle going on.
Yeah, he's stealing his girl.
Yep.
Oh, that's.
I thought the whole point of Calto is there's no actual solution. It just reflects your state of mind.
There is a solution. They talk about it more in a different episode.
I feel like
There's a way you can like win at Calto because then they're like they put it
it's
down
about
and they're
order.
like Calto, we did it.
I don't think that's correct. I don't think people gather around and yell Calto.
I think you're mistaking it for Coda's Cod.
Maybe.
She perceives everything because she uses the ship sensors, Tuvok. Because she doesn't exist.
I feel like an
Yeah.
actual hologram character having an existential crisis would make for great TV.
Oh, there's some Doctor episodes like that, weren't there?
No, but I mean, like, if the Doctor never got his hollow emitter, and he just thinks about how, like, what's going to happen to him when the ship gets decommissioned.
You get
Yeah.
sent to the dilithium mining facility with all the
We get-
other EMH
We get like one
holograms.
scene in season 1 like that. Except in that scene, he doesn't care. It's chill. As long
When
as
would you say the
someone shuts him
Doctor
off.
actually becomes a person?
He was always a person, he just didn't know it yet.
Because I feel like by basics, he's a person.
Did some of those pineapples not have straws? Okay, no. I thought I seriously thought for a second that they had just
we need
the
to. We need
pineapple
to.
cocktails and then also just uncut raw pineapples sitting on the same tray.
Bold of you
Maybe-
to assume that I wouldn't try to eat that.
Maybe they should make a rule that limits how sophisticated the holograms can be, so that they're not like sentient. So we don't have to worry about ethical implications of, treating them badly and turning them off and all that stuff.
Or
Is
paying
Vork
them.
also trying to steal Tom's girl? Is that...
Well, in like the next couple episodes, he goes into Pond Far, so I think he's
Oh,
just
yeah.
planning.
assaults
Yeah,
her,
Vork
yeah.
does try and steal her.
And then at the end of the episode, Chakotay runs away with the Space Nebula.
You know what this scene needs? Cass trying to underage drunk.
Drunk cat. I don't know if we should give alcohol to the person who can boil people alive with her mind.
You know, just like a little
Feels
funny
risky.
scene where, like, yeah, we don't serve anyone under the age of 21.
What if this pattern keeps repeating itself and literally everyone on the ship falls in love with this hologram?
Oh,
Oh,
it's
it's
the
the
minuet.
Kythera I was thinking about, where it just has no final shape. Tuvok's plain building blocks.
Calto?
Playing
Not
with his Vulcan
Calto,
Legos.
Kythera.
The reason why you drove me away from her is so you could take her for yourself. Rah!
She's
Oh
just
my
a
God.
hologram, Harry. Just make another one.
They have a big fight about it on the bridge, and no one else understands what they're talking about.
Don't they find
Tuvok
out
and Kim
she's
have
like she's? Sorry.
I was gonna say, yeah, this results in a caliphate between Kim and Tuvok.
I thought that this was like turns out to be like a alien construct, like in what you call it?
Gattaca?
She's an
in
alien
Minuet.
projecting herself onto the holomatrix to try to make friends.
You're kidding.
No.
Don't worry about it. We haven't gotten to that plot point yet.
You took her away from me. You've done that yourself.
So we have an alien who's emotionally manipulating the crew to learn information.
No, not to learn information. She's just lonely.
So she's like in one of
She's
those
chill.
AOL chat lines.
Yes.
She should hook up with that Strange New Worlds nebula.
It costs $2 a minute to talk to Tuvok.
Dial 222 Tuvok Talk.
I'm married.
I should go.
You know, I feel like if they just said like all they're doing is playing solitaire and there's nothing else. It'd be interesting.
Oh, a little bit of evil music as we zoom in on Morena.
Morena, Minuet, what else?
Soon I will seduce everyone on the ship. And the Voyager will be mine.
He's working her way up the Janeway. Oh my god, yeah, you're right. This could be like one of those Heisenberg breaks you mentioned earlier.
It just looks alive.
Are we talking about Breaking Bad again?
No,
No.
the
Tuvok, you're in my nebula. We need to sell the plasma.
the fantasy episode Strange New Worlds.
This is our nebula. Our time.
So
We're gonna
I-
own this nebula.
So I know this sounds strange, but wouldn't a fair comparison of their actions right now being
Warp 6.
like a bullet shooting through a human person?
Why Warp 6? This will take forever.
I'm slinging mad volume and fat stacking dilithium crystals. I don't have time to care about
Speaking of Warp 6 taking forever, you guys remember the episode where a Federation starship is destroying Cardassian outposts and Picard has to hunt him down?
Yeah.
He has Gul
The
Dukat on the
hunted?
ship, and he's like, "Oh, you see, we are doing everything in our power to reach the Phoenix."
No. He has
And 2
Gul
minutes
Macet,
later,
his cousin.
it was totally Gul. Don't worry about it. And like 2
Same
minutes
actor.
later, he says, "Ensign, increase speed to from warp 4." He was going at warp 4 to pursue a ship that was destroying outposts.
It wasn't an emergency.
The rules were that you not exceed Warp 5 unless it's an
This was
emergency.
season 3.
Okay. Look,
Picard was just being a jerk.
Picard was just like, I mean, they're just Cardassians.
I mean, Picard's also the kind of person who would look at a planet full of dying Boreal and say, haha, suck on this, you primitives.
Yes. Also, don't try to lie to me. Gul
Well-
Macet doesn't exist. There's only Dukat.
Well, hold on. The helmets don't exist, one. And number two, at least Picard's the type of person to say, I'm going to fire trilithium resin into the atmosphere of 2 planets.
Yeah, that's Cisco, and that's his pimping hand.
True.
We do get exactly one scene of Cisco's actual pimp hand, but it's with Garrick.
Oh, yes. He pimp-hammed him so hard that Garrick actually lost the color on his hands.
Oh, Harry, come on, man. You got a problem.
You're at work, man.
Jesus Christ. I don't even look on Facebook while I'm at work, and he's doing this.
You brought him here to
I'm just
kill me.
I'm just gonna say,
You're
let's
just going to say nothing?
That one
What's
guy in
the
his
word I'm
underwear
looking
just
for?
running around in the background, just trying to do his laundry.
And saying, why aren't you at work? Why aren't you at work?
Because they are
Computer, create a
free
new copy of the
rotation
Morena
shift.
program who's only interested in me.
Create 2 copies of the program that are only interested in me.
Wait, why didn't they actually say that?
We're just going to a
Yes.
different holodeck.
Drama. Also, she's not actually a real hologram. She's not part of the program, but we don't know that yet.
No, but like, if they did, oh, that would have been such a good clue. They try to copy it, but the computer freaks out.
Like, what are you talking about? What Morena program?
And then if they, oh
Can't
no,
you see they're tearing this crew apart?
this is the best costume.
The uniform?
How come they have belt loops but they never have a belt?
Because it's supposed to be like a holster gun. Or
We
a
no
gun
longer
holster.
enslave belts for pants purposes.
It's used to wear a belt, and you can attach phaser, tricorder, etc. to it.
Mhm.
There is a ceremonial belt that's somewhere, but it's very rare to see.
A duty belt. Because
Yes.
Starfleet are the space cops.
Are they though?
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Well, here's the thing. Starfleet says, yes, we're into science and research. Also, we call our second in command commanders.
They're research commanders.
Just adapt in the military
They
rank.
command the research.
I'm
Like,
pretty
I
sure,
love
that,
it
sure
whenever-
there are at least a few episodes where someone's like, "Oh, you're very well armed for an exploration ship."
Like, I absolutely
These are our science weapons for science.
Well, just relative to the people, because look, they explore some, and they're the people that get into stuff that they shouldn't. Like, so of course they need weapons because they're always exploring really dangerous places.
Yeah, they go into people's backyards and get shot at.
I go into your backyard and I shine this light through your window and I teach your son about the universe.
Okay, that's actually really clever that she's wearing a whatchamacallit.
The mobile emitter.
Yeah.
Sorry,
That way
it
she-
is the self-sustaining, fully autonomous mobile emitter.
Meanwhile, the EMH is an appointment right now. He really is trying to get to, and he's like scrounging around like he's lost his keys.
Calling up Alana's like, "Did you take my..."
Do you
What are you
remember where
eating,
I left my
Lobo?
mobile emitter? I'm not eating anything.
Are you digging around in a chip bag?
You filing your taxes?
I was folding up disused fast food bags and throwing them away.
How many
I thought I
bags
had-
did you have?
I thought I had NVIDIA broadcast turned on, but somehow it got reset. So now it's back on, so you shouldn't hear it.
Yeah.
I don't know why Discord does that sometimes. Like Windows doesn't update and like resets your communication device off of NVIDIA broadcast. Anyway. So I have a lot of fast food bag. I don't know. They accumulate. I don't have time to cook.
Mm.
I have right now. I'm basically slammed with working and classes. So
A sentient computer program, not another one. They're all over the place.
You know,
Wait, it was only taken over by a hollow character once?
let's see, that'd be the Doctor, Seska's rewriting of Tuvok's fan fiction.
Moriarty took over the Enterprise.
There's a one-time Data took over, or Data on the holodeck did something.
Data the holodeck.
Yeah, everyone
Oh,
turned into cowboys.
Fistful of
Oh,
datas.
God.
I love
Fistful
that
of
episode.
Data's correct.
Everyone
yeah.
didn't turn into
And then-
cowboys. The cowboys turned into Data.
Worf.
I think
Worf.
that they're-
and-
What if that episode was actually a bunch of Data cowboys, running a simulation of the Enterprise?
Worf and Counselor Troy, the two least engineering
Durango. She's
capable-
called Durango.
Durango.
Okay, whatever. They somehow make a
Counselor
personal shield
Durango.
out of a communicator. Like a one-time use personal shield out of a communicator. How do they
course.
do that?
They could
Well, I mean,
turn rocks into replicators,
Worf
man.
is a graduate of
But
Starfleet
they're neither of them
Academy.
are
He knows many
engineers.
He knows many
things.
things.
You should
No,
say.
hold on.
You should
There's
say it
perfect-
works very well. Thank you very much. Thanks for asking.
I mean, I was always under the assumption that they were on the holodeck, so it was like laser tag.
No,
But the
it was the
safeties
safeties
were
were
off.
off, and so the bullets were real.
I'm sorry, but
Well, they weren't real, but they were gonna do real damage.
I'm sorry, but are the engineers on Starfleet drunk and or high? No, wait, we already answered that.
All the time.
Why can you turn the safeties off on the holodeck? Why is the holodeck capable
Why
of
is
that?
it an
There's-
option? Why is
is
that a
there s-
toggle?
Exactly. Somebody was like, remember when video games had nightmare difficulty? That's what we want in the hologram. On the holodeck.
I feel like, given how the holodeck works, they probably had to program the safeties after they invented the initial technology. So there was just a period where there were it may have been very brief where the holodeck could just kill you.
You know, people get like force feedback chairs.
I
So in
don't know.
driving games, it'll like rumble
Yes.
if you go. What if you had a
Yes,
force
Okay.
feedback gun? So if you get shot in the game,
You
Okay,
get
everyone.
they have that too.
Okay,
You
everyone's
acknowledge
favorite.
that layer was
Yeah.
broken right there.
You're actually 100% correct because in the first like 3 episodes of TNG, they essentially say this is technically not a holodeck. It's more of just a giant replicator, and we're inside it.
Hmm.
So that whole if we turn off the holodeck, it could kill everyone
And the
might
holodeck
actually
is
make too
based
much.
off of a,
Yeah,
a
it makes.
transporter.
Hmm.
See, like after Moriarty, took over the ship, I would have just put, like a manual shut-off valve,
On the outside.
on the outside, or like I would have employed someone to just like stand next to the power
A
cord
manual
for the
shut-off
holodeck with
valve.
like a chainsaw. I would have saved them a lot of trouble in the future. Just saying.
We established that they have their own isolated power that's separate from the ship and somehow
Oh.
unusable in an emergency.
What's
how does
funnier is
it
the way he
generate the
was
power?
created.
Does it have its own warp core?
I think it does.
Or that,
It
or
has-
like at least a fusion battery.
yeah.
It replicates its own power generation inside of itself somehow.
But
Chicken
since
and the egg.
the holodecks actually have replicators inside them,
What's her end goal here? Is it literally just to
look, imagine being
seduce Tuvok?
no.
Yes.
Okay, so imagine being fully awake and conscious, and then being left alone for eons.
She wants Tuvok. You'd probably turn into her, I guess.
I know this sounds strange, but why don't we just give her like a Tuvok hologram to talk to?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like if they created a Tuvok hologram, it would just hook up with it would hook up with the Tuvok wife hologram. It would be like that Futurama episode.
He wants to leave. What do you mean threats are the best way to establish a relationship?
Yeah, Janeway does it all the time. Wait, how does she understand those concepts if she's a fucking nebula?
She's not actually. She's just
We-
an alien lady in a nebula.
What's the
On a space station.
what's the report gonna look like on this? Like this inverted nebula. Because the whole reason they
Seduced
came
by
in here was
cloud, yes.
the whole reason they came in here was to gather data on it. So it was like, don't go in the nebula or it'll fall in love with Tuvok.
Oh man, if only they paid attention to Strange New Worlds entry about Nebula. The Nebula will steal your kids.
There's some shady things going on in nebulas. There's also that time the nebula like haunted the ship. Nebula's tried
That's
to steal
no
someone's
nebula.
kid more than once.
There was a
That's a
time
space
that
station.
I
it
know that
was a
sounds strange,
nebula.
but if I was a weird alien psycho woman, would I not
You're not?
understand that? That's debatable. But wouldn't destroying the ship that your object of affection or curiosity is would ultimately kill them?
Well, yeah, but
I
if she
just-
can't have him, nobody can.
And that way you are protecting them from themselves.
I'll just help feel a little bit more psychopathic in my D&D games. Oh, okay, now I get it. He's on a ship.
Yep, she's just a lady hanging out.
But is she a Herodian?
He certainly looks like
No,
it.
they
I
just
don't think
reused a little
so.
bit of makeup. Don't worry about it.
Also, is this the what's it called? The dreadnought? That-
Maybe.
No, the Dreadnought's a bit Cardassian looking.
Yeah, but it has the big tube in
But
the
that's a
middle and stuff.
Cardassian
And this,
door.
yeah, this is pretty Cardassian looking.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
look
Behind
this
at
is
Tuvok to
probably
the left.
Dreadnought.
It totally is.
Oh, it is the Cardassian
Yeah.
Dreadnought.
It is.
Wow. What a coincidence.
He stole the Dreadnought.
Boy, this dreadnought's so freaking lost.
I thought this was a space station.
It is, but it's also a Cardassian missile.
Gotcha, it's a multi-purpose thing.
I hate the fact that they made the Cardassians complete jackasses. Yes, we made an indestructible missile. What does it do at the end? It blows up.
I mean, that's what the missile was created for.
But what if they just like put a gun on it instead of having it destroy itself?
Or hear me out. What was that weird saying?
Torpedoes.
What was that weird COD game where you had to fight against things that were inertial based rods that were supposed to hit the Earth?
Call of Duty Ghosts.
Oh gosh.
Okay, imagine that, but on a grander scale, and it can actually shoot through the core.
How come the Cardassians never reused those dreadnoughts? They were very effective.
I think those are prototypes and only used for the Maquis, and then when the Maquis and the Dominion happened, they're like, cost too much to make.
The
Dominion
Maquis also.
overlords.
Why would you use your best weapon on the Maquis? The Maquis are some pretty like weak sauce, you know.
Okay, I feel like if they said, yeah, it was heading towards Federation space and we stole it, that would make a little bit more sense. But also keep in mind that the Maquis and the Klingons eventually pushed the Cardassians back into their solar system.
God, Tuvok, this woman just needs a hug.
God, she needs a pet.
Holographic pet. I can never leave her.
Give her Neelix.
See, there we
Yes.
go. There's the solution the whole time.
They have the same
hologram.
hairstyle. Yeah, no.
Don't leave Neelix. We don't want to torture the poor woman. What kind of animal does she look like?
Turtle with hair?
Cross between Hirogen,
It is nice hair.
Talaxian,
What? Mylian.
Mylian. There we go.
Well,
Yeah, the
she's
reason why
reaching out. She needs a hug. Come on.
She needs like a weighted blanket or something.
She needs that shape-shifting dog that murders people.
Okay, are we talking about the coalescent life form, or are we talking about Tavana's the dog?
Oh yeah.
Or are we
nah, I was
talking about
the
Odo
first
pretending to be a
one.
German Shepherd and mauling a guard?
Oh, that is 3 times that dogs are not dogs.
Yeah, there's 3 murder shape-shifting dogs.
Odo says he never killed anyone, even though that's patently false.
But it happened in the past. Can you prove that? Because time travel is complicated, right?
In real life, he looks like a gorilla turtle hybrid. Because she has that crest. She has that crest and ridging going on, but then she also has like the hair of a gorilla.
Stand by, because you're going to give her a hug first?
Freaking vaporizes her.
No, you just disable the ship like you did with the Vadoir.
Yeah, just leave. Just go home.
You know, strangely, this parallels with Kim.
Because he doesn't have any real friends?
Yeah, and he's being distracted by the promise of a relationship.
Oh, no hug.
She looks, oh god, she looks so pathetic. And I don't mean like, oh, she's pathetic. I mean like, she looks so sad.
Tuvok really gave her like the cold, like, I will continue. I'm sorry, lady, but I will continue
Mayo, bye.
dragging through the Delta Quadrant, seducing who knows who.
We soon left her behind. Yes, you did, Tuvok. You're a monster.
I mean, what are they gonna do? Bring her aboard?
Well, we could trade Neelix. Put Neelix
No.
on the station. Bring her.
They should have left her a holographic version of Tuvok and then left,
Uh,
and and she wouldn't have realized it until they're already well away.
Like the scene ends with him and her in bed, but then it shows that he's still wearing a t-shirt that has a hollow emitter on it.
Not entirely.
Tuvok being a little racist. Yeah, they understand. Bros before aliens.
Which is against Starfleet protocol if you take every single officer.
He's probably a
Tuvok's
hologram.
a,
Hologram.
Tuvok's a Sigma male.
No.
Okay. That's Alter Ego. It was an episode.
That was one of the Voyager episodes of all time.
It certainly was an episode.
And now we get Janeway who's dying but not for realsies because her dad is a demon? Don't worry about it.
Oh
Everyone queue up
man,
for Coda.
I'm seeing so many Voyager episodes for the first time on the stream, and I just gotta say, well,
That's what you gotta say. You gotta say, whelp.
yep.
Well.
See,
Okay.
like, what would they have done with the show in the Delta Quadrant? Would they, you know?
Equinox. Switch around who was a spy and who wasn't. Keep Cass aboard. Kill like half the crew by season 5.
Make Year of Hell a whole year instead of 2 episodes.
No, make
That was
Year
the
of Hell.
original intention.
Okay, make Year of Hell a season, kind of like Enterprise season 3.
Yeah.
That was the season. That was the point.
Everybody
They
press
couldn't
play in
get
Coda
Rick
in
Berman
4,
to sign up on it.
3, 2, 1, play. Thanks, Rick. Bloody Rick.
They got the Dominion War though,
My name's
Yeah.
not Rick.
and they got the
Oh God, no!
the
Not
season
Neelix.
3 of Enterprise.
This is
Neelix,
hell.
you're way too close to her. He's
This is
literally
hell.
touching her shoulder with his chest.
It is hell. Neelix just runs up to her.
Ethan Phillips is playing him like he's in love with her.
You know, I feel like if they showed him literally reaching for people's pockets and taking things from them, it would make so much more sense.
Little replicator ration chips.
What did he just do? He made sure Tuvok was too busy to do to come to some event,
I don't even know.
and Janeway acquiesced.
It doesn't matter. The demon's the important part.
I mean, Katras exist, so. Oh my God, have they been drinking?
Maybe. Does anyone know a good Rick? Or are all Ricks bad?
I knew a Rick. He was alright. We played Terraria
He
for a
was
few
alright?
hours.
I had a neighbor named Patrick who was blind, had a pet pigeon, and flew kites all day.
That was way back in high school too, and so he actually did like talk like Rick from the show. It was kind of funny and it was kind of weird at the same time.
Are they going to emit a tachyon chip down to the ship and ship it out of here? Is that this episode?
No.
So they still have forward thrust, right?
Maybe?
I believe so.
So you could pull up to decelerate.
Oh, that makes too much sense. But yes.
Anyone else getting some real big Jurassic Park vibes by the set piece?
I guess? Is the T-Rex going to step on the roof?
God, I hope so.
You died, Kathy. You were eaten by a dinosaur. And now it's time to move on. So do you guys like carrots?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Well, like they
I mean, I do.
they kind of take a long time to eat because you have to chew them so much.
Well, that's half
That's
the
how
fun.
eating works. Do you not chew? Do you only eat soup?
Or noodle.
Mm,
Like half the fun is gnawing on it like a psychopath.
I mean, yeah, I don't. But sometimes you don't want to chew. You know, you just.
Hey, I just got here. What the fuck are you talking about?
We're talking
Do you like
about.
carrots?
Hold on.
And then
Is that a
Mr.
no?
Rock, and then Mr. Rock over here is like, but that takes too much work. I'm like, yeah, but that's half the fun of eating.
What what form of the carrots then are we talking, like
Like, you just
gigantic
take a
nom nom
carrot,
nom or baby
take
carrots?
a carrot, sit down at your computer, put on Star Trek, and just gnaw on a carrot. Or 2, or 4.
Yes, and don't take off the skin, otherwise you're a coward.
Stems
You should
too,
at
or
least
no?
wash it,
Yeah.
though.
You should take the skin off carrots.
You don't need to take the skin off as long as you wash it. It's fine.
Yeah, I always run mine through a scrub buddy.
No, carrots are delicious. I should get carrots. I don't have any. Okay, the show's back. We're good.
When I was a kid, I used to go through 2 pounds in a week.
2
Well,
pounds
you
of
must
carrots?
be-
Just orange.
Yeah, did that give you like X-ray vision?
You know, my friends joked, but all it did was actually just give me an orange tint to my face.
Okay, so yes, you did
It
turn
will
orange.
turn you
Good.
orange. I think they fed the British pilots so much carrots, so many
lie.
carrots that they turned orange.
So that when that was a
What?
tactical
What?
maneuver so that if a British pilot crashed in hostile territory, the Germans would think they were aliens and be too scared to retaliate.
I thought the whole thing. Yeah, they didn't want to explain why that they had radar technology, so they said that the British pilots were so effective because they ate carrots, which gave them better night vision.
Yeah, previously they had these giant, like, concave concrete things to increase the sound of planes. And then they invented radar. And, like, oh,
They had the giant tubas too.
yeah.
This hand placement is kind of sus.
It's not that.
That's
it's just
where
like
people's
he's not.
hearts are. What do you want?
Is it bad that I want them to like bury an actor neck deep and then put a fake chest so they can actually do proper, like, whatchamacallit?
Chest compressions.
Yeah.
Come on,
Why did
Janeway.
you start with
Kate
that?
Mulgrew just needs to commit to the role and accept she's going to have like 4 ribs broken.
No. Like you put a fake chest down, but then you bury the actor
No,
neck
no, no,
deep.
no, no. Kate Mulgrew. Break her ribs. She can handle it. She's tough.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a woman her age. I'm sorry, but once you get past 25 and you break a rib,
You guys out here breaking all your ribs and your... What are you guys doing?
Oh. I'm sorry that she's not a Klingon.
There's a carrot museum in the...
Hey, what does
It's a
everybody like
virtual
on their
carrot
pizza?
museum.
Only the garden pizza.
Straight up carrots.
Pepperoni
Carrots are good.
and
Pizza.
pepperoni and black olives.
I wonder if
Oh, that's not bad. I do pepperoni and mushroom.
you
I
could
don't
season
dislike black olives. I just
carrot slices and make like a vegetarian pepperoni substitute.
So I think right now... Okay, that's where the shuttle was parked when Gul Dukat went crazy.
My God!
Janeway is
right.
currently sitting where they found a sentient missile. I think this is also where Picard was kidnapped by the... I mean, it wasn't actually a woman, but it's the person pretending to be a woman to
What
make
about the
him fall
person
in
who
love.
dies in a kite crash?
I believe this set is referred to as Planet Hell, where all this filming is done. But I wish they would have moved it around a little bit.
We've seen this so many times.
So you know how like when you're asleep you really can't read?
No?
I
Do
read
you,
stuff
what?
in my sleep once.
I remember reading something, and this could be completely BS because a lot of psychology papers are being redacted and, retracted right now. Where if you're sleeping and you have a dream where you're reading a paper, you cannot read the actual words.
I've heard
Yeah, they're
that. I've
jumbled
never...
at best. Yeah, that's a
So-
real thing. They're jumbled at best. It's your brain can't to that level like break things down. I guess it's a certain thing.
So
Sleep
I
is
think-
weird. Like dream. There's all kinds of stuff like that, like
So
light switches and.
So I think a really good clue right about when she returns back to the ship is that she can't read anything.
Hey,
Oh.
I don't... Do we know that that's actually true, though? Has anyone experienced that? Where you try to read and dream doesn't work?
So I rarely have dreams. I just kind of black out and wake up.
One time I had a dream where I saw a piece of like anti-Amazon propaganda in a dream, and it said Jeff Bezos makes workers stand in their own fuel for 16 hours a day.
I mean, that's not wrong.
Like you can read like a sign. Like you can read like a sign or something like that, but like if you tried to sit in your dream and like read a newspaper article or a book, like the words would be all jumbled. I've definitely experienced that, yeah.
Because, like, once I read, like, oh, if you're in a dream, try a light switch, because light switches don't work properly. And then I was in a dream one time, and I tried a light switch, and it was fine. It's like, what do you mean?
And a light switch thing isn't 100%, but it's a good test if you're trying to like lucid dream and stuff.
Of course, one time in a dream, I asked myself, wait, am I dreaming right now? Because I met Albert Einstein at my college. I was like, yeah, no, this seems legit. No, I'm not dreaming.
I had a dream where I wanted a robot hand, so I literally shoved my hand down to disposal. And I was
What?
wondering,
That's
I
pretty fucking dark.
once
okay.
had a dream with Richard Nixon in it, and I was like sitting with him in a car, and I asked him about Watergate, and he just broke down and started to cry.
okay, that's better than my weird fever dream that I had.
I've had multiple president dreams.
Nixon dreams, specifically.
so
Nixon dreams.
I didn't think that Voyager had TNG style shuttles.
In the beginning, they did. They're phased out by season 4.
I think they're being replaced by the Arrow shuttle or whatever it's called.
The Type
Delta,
2.
no, the Delta Flyer.
Yeah.
They still have regular
they're supposed
shuttles
to
in
have Type 2
addition.
shuttle.
They do have Type 2 shuttles, or Type 3, here a little bit later.
And then they
And
also
then-
How
have,
did they get upgraded shuttles on the other side of the galaxy?
and then Voyager canonically has the captain's yacht, which they never used.
Oh, the Arrow shuttle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was gonna have, so they were gonna use the runabout set for it. So the windows on the Arrow shuttle are designed to look like the windows on the runabout, so that you can use the same interior set.
I really do not remember this Groundhog Day bit. All I remember is the afterlife demon.
They did test footage of the separation sequence and a landing, but then they decided to just, I guess, make the whole ship
They
land,
decided,
or
nah.
they just didn't
Because you can
want
actually,
it.
Is
because you
this
can
just like a miniature cause and effect?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, are these technically triangles?
No,
Not
those weren't triangles.
triangles.
They might have been triangular, but they're not triangles.
Wait, is cause and effect the one where Crusher is stuck in her pocket universe?
No, cause and effect is the one where Picard yells, "All hands abandon ship," over and over and over again.
It's the one.
And the poker stuff.
It's
and-
the one where, wait, no, cause and effect is the one where Kelsey Grammer is captain of that Miranda that hits them.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm taking down the
Except
money
it's not a
plane.
Miranda. It's a Soyuz class, which is
All right,
stupid
well,
because
you
they're
know
the
what I'm
same
saying.
ship.
It's the same. It's
No,
just,
no.
it's just
The
kind of
Soyuz
module on
had
it.
a little
Pointy
diddle
line
daddle on the top.
class.
It's
No.
the same ship.
Okay, and then wasn't there an episode where in the first two seasons where there's an extra Picard
Yes.
Yes.
who's moving
Yes.
backwards in time, and the ship is destroyed in that as well?
I like the idea of the extra Picard. Like there's an emergency backup Picard they keep in like a glass case where you
Ooh,
like read
twice
books
the
all day.
Picard,
Air
double the
Picard.
T.
That's Captain
Picard
Morgan
kills
Batesman.
him.
Can you imagine if they used him for chain of command instead and they just leave him?
Yeah, it's fine. They had a spare.
Yeah, they Thomas Reichard Picard in case he ever died.
They keep him frozen on the Enterprise, thaw him
Wait.
out when they need him.
So this is canonically all happening in Janeway's head. Wouldn't everyone be
Yes.
acting like a caricature of their actual behaviors?
This
They-
is how
the-
Janeway sees her
Well,
colleagues.
Captain Picard
Everyone's
Captain Picard
everyone's
meets with his
performance is so
doppelganger.
rigid, anyways. They're just cardboard cutouts.
Kelsey Grammer's name was Captain Morgan Batesman.
Yes.
I'm forgetting the name of the ship. Was it the Sutherland?
It was a Bozeman.
No, it's not the Sutherland.
you.
That's Data's
Bozeman.
ship.
Yes,
Bozeman.
Bozeman Soyuz class. Correct. Thank you.
Wait, did they just say that she contracted the phage?
Yes.
It's
they did.
extremely infectious. You get it from being in space near a Vidian ship.
I know this sounds a bit pessimistic, but if someone told me, "Hey Josie, you have necrotizing fasciitis," okay, where? Everywhere, I would literally just run into a furnace.
I feel like there are probably better ways to solve that problem than a furnace, but sure.
I mean,
It's
it gets
effective.
May I interest you
gets-
in a gun?
yeah, but here's the thing: I don't want it to spread everywhere when the brain matter goes on the walls and the ceilings.
What if you shoot yourself right above an open furnace? Like a giant forge. Go to a steel mill.
I mean, maybe 40 years ago I could have found one, but I would have to go to Duluth for that.
Everybody
I love
loves
how we're
Duluth.
talking about anything but this episode, you know?
That's how these streams work, man. We don't talk about Star Trek.
We don't even like Star Trek.
Yeah, I've been away too long, I guess. I don't know, man.
Also, you need to find a new captain because you're going to be dying.
Oh, it's fine. We can Nah, not Chakotay. We could do Kim.
No, it's Tom Paris is next in line.
Kim finally gets
Exactly.
the promotion and it's just a dream.
Tom Paris is next in line. The man who literally committed treason.
Yeah, he just keeps failing upward.
Isn't that an actual, like, crime that you could be executed for still in the Federation?
They did
it's
outlaw
They have 2 death
yeah.
penalties left on their books that are the only death penalties
General
left on
Order
the
4,
books.
General Order 7, and also neither.
I mean, look at Gil Dukat. They stuck him in a prison or a rehabilitation center. Quote,
Oh
quote.
God. Yes, he'll do fine in New Zealand.
Beautiful New Zealand. He'll love it. He'll do some gardening.
Although that
Listen to
counselor
some
should have been
birds.
fired. I mean, becoming literally the devil. Probably not the most effective treatment.
You know, at this point, I'd be like, hey, listen, buddy, just a berry and sweet, please.
The next step, Janeway, is a gun.
I've been away a while, but Ryan continually suggesting to solve problems with guns, I see hasn't changed, which is good.
It solves everything.
Welcome back, too.
Use gun on man.
If someone doesn't show up to
Yeah,
a stream for
thanks,
a while
man.
and you want them to, a gun.
Well, when you demonetized, I thought you stopped doing these altogether, and then I
Nah, man.
stumbled on this the other day. So
Star Trek
Yeah,
Voyager can never die.
yeah, I come
Unless
back
you
and
used
you guys
a
are watching
gun.
fucking Voyager.
Unless you use a gun on it. Use gun on Ryan.
Yeah.
Yes. Kill her.
Oh my
End her
God.
miserable life.
Forgot about this part.
Wait, you can just delete? Like, there's not even an "are you sure" thing?
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm sure
No,
the
she's putting in the security code for it.
Computer, delete the air.
Delete the life.
Bye, Janeway.
I know this sounds kind of heartless, but I think the doctor would be in the right here.
No,
Okay,
So
put her in
no,
stasis.
not with that particular murder.
you
Not-
think after this she holds it against the EMH because in her dream, the
If
EMH
you have a dream
killed
about your
her?
partner cheating on you and you're mad when you wake up.
Because my ex-girlfriend was mad at me all day, and I was like, "What is wrong?" And she's like, "It's stupid." And I'm like, "What is wrong?" She's like, "I had a dream you cheated on me." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, you're right. It is
Well,
stupid."
did you?
Yep.
One time I had an argument with someone in a dream, and I was like, I'm gonna show them by like being aware that I am in a dream and waking myself up, and then I woke up at like
So they
3
cease
in the
to
morning
exist?
just to spite some aspect of my subconscious,
Okay.
and like really in the end I was the one who lost there.
Well, sudden Q appears. You died.
Bye, Kathy.
The JC shippers are just screaming with joy
Okay.
right now.
Now this is a different shot of him doing CPR, and now he's not on her heart.
The Jesus Christ shippers.
The Janeway Chakotay shippers.
Oh, I was trying to
Catherine, no!
Well, really, because this is in Janeway's mind, so she's shipping herself with Chakotay.
I mean, with anyone
I don't
else,
think
that
her
would just
being-
be.
Sorry, go ahead.
The captain
God.
needs someone outside of the command structure to date.
Like a hologram.
The only option is Neelix.
No.
It's either
God,
so it's
no.
either Neelix, Cass, her pet Project 7, or the terrorist.
Actually, there's probably a lot of 7 Janeway shipping, I'm sure.
Just
Uh,
keep
Even
drinking
though
that
Kate
coffee.
Mulgrew kind of hated her for a while.
Yeah, Kate Mulgrew hated her for the whole time they were making the show.
It actually gave Jerry Ryan panic attacks. wax before she went on set.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I mean, you know the whole story behind that. She was mad that they were making it about, it was supposed to be
It's
about
the Seven and the Doctor
you
show.
have
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to make it sexier.
right. It was supposed to be about
That's
like
exactly
you
how
have a
Rick
female
Berman sounded
captain.
when he cast.
Yeah, Rick
It
Berman
had to be like-
hired someone for eye candy, and he accidentally hired a really good actress.
You have to make it
Yeah.
sexy.
I would argue they made the same weird mistake on Enterprise, because I actually really think Jolene Blaylock's great on that show.
What's
Oh,
that?
yeah.
On
T'Pol.
Enterprise. Yeah, like
T'Pol?
she got the job because she's like a model and she's, sexy or whatever, but like I think she's really great on that show because it's such a subtle performance.
I think I think T'Pol, for me personally, is the most attractive actress
What about
that I've seen on
Neelix?
Star Trek.
with that.
Actress?
I mean, it's Nichelle Nichols, but yeah, she's up there. I hear you.
I mean, I don't. It's hard to say because I mostly remember her being very old. So, like I remember her. My best memory of
Don't
her
you
is
like
from
the
the
fan
movies
dance?
where
That doesn't
she's
matter.
like,
Come on. Like
The
5
fan
months.
dance?
Come on.
oh, she definitely had some gams. She had some.
Hey, that fan dance in Star Trek 5. Come on.
The
And
deeply
Amelia.
uncomfortable fan dance.
And then the
Yeah.
mirror universe.
Where they're all like, "It's a woman! It's a woman! There's a woman! Oh my god, it's a woman!" I had never seen a woman before.
But yeah, like any
She felt
television show, of
something.
course, they're concerned with ratings, but yeah, I think they ended up with some pretty good actresses as a result. Anyway.
Hey, this is like the one where Geordi and Ro go to or was it Geordi? Someone goes to their own funeral.
Okay, this is where
Yeah.
I would just start
Yeah,
like waving
well.
my hand through Cass's head when she talks.
Just sit in Kess's chair.
Yeah, you're thinking of Ensign Ro in the next phase, where at the end they have to shoot the disruptor to, like, I don't know, awaken particles or something, and she just shoots
Yes.
Riker right in the fucking face.
I know. It was great.
It's great. It's one of my favorite
Oh
Trek moments.
yes, when they're phased.
'Cause
Yeah.
he was playing
Back
jazz
to-
at her funeral.
Yes.
Do you remember? Oh, he didn't play
They
Nightbird.
didn't even like each other.
No.
Well, there was the episode where they lost the memory and they were lovers. And
Yeah,
then
they fucked, like,
afterwards, her and Troy. Yeah, her and Troy were chatting in 10 forward, and he walked in and he was like, "Nope, I'm going to 9 forward. See you later. Bye."
Some weird,
then-
twisted part of me was thinking that they were deciding on sharing him.
That's
Yeah.
exactly. They were comparing notes. And they're
There's
like,
some
"Okay, you
subtext
get
there.
them Mondays, Wednesdays,
Oh.
and Fridays,
Oh, no, I was thinking more like they share him at once.
alternating
no.
weekends."
Let's take this party back to my place.
And then Captain
Ryan's like,
Picard
"Let's."
walks in. He's like, I get him all the time. Sometimes I wish I
is
could
this the demon?
unsay words.
Is it finally happening? The second
Is it-
half of the episode that I thought was the whole episode?
Daddy Demon.
Daddy demon.
Daddy demon.
Okay, yeah, there's Janeway's dad.
Daddy.
Daddy.
Why do you call... Okay.
Daddy.
I'm the DADDY.
Sorry, the internet ruined that word for me so much.
Go.
Why were you under the polar ice cap, man? How did you get there?
They
Maybe-
needed
He's
ice
the thing.
cubes.
He's the thing.
Maybe Janeway got her Wanderlust from him.
I do like that he's wearing the TNG Season 1 style uniform.
Oh, yeah, you're
Because
right.
he died 15 years ago.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, he's wearing the Admiralty.
What was an admiral doing under the polar ice cap?
He was really he was
Was that his
Really
snorkeling
hot.
vacation?
he was trying to cool down.
He was infected by the bluegills and trying to kill the parasite before it got him to do something weird.
We've all seen John Carpenter's The Thing, right? Come on.
A spooky ghost. My God.
If he literally just said the Vulcans call it Katra, some people call it souls, some people call it psionic energy.
No, ghost.
Thankfully, Beverly Crusher
God,
isn't there. So
was he there all the time? People talk about like, oh, our relatives are smiling down at us from heaven. They're watching over us. And whenever people say that, I'm like, are they? How often are they watching us? Like, I don't want people looking into my bedroom. Is Grandma stalking me?
Sister.
If you're asking if that implies a ghost watch you masturbate, I would say yeah. I think you're probably right on that.
We're just like in the shower.
I mean,
Leave me alone, ghost.
I'll just say it.
This is my spot. I live here.
It reminds me about what my dad used to say about my grandpa. He's like, oh, yes, he's smiling up at us. I mean, don't you mean down? No.
No.
That's what they all say, though.
No good people talk like that.
Indescribable wonder over sideways and under. I'm
You fool,
taking
you're
you
going to bring
to
Disney
the
down upon us.
afterlife.
Someone mute him.
Careful, yeah. Ryan's gonna get a copyright strike on this.
Oh no, I'm gonna get demonetized.
Ryan, I theorize that there is an imposter among us, listening in on our, watching these watch-alongs, reading our chats, and then turning our dumb ideas into real Star Trek episodes.
Why? What? What do you mean? What are you referring to?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think.
Allegedly, the lower decks writers lurk on Reddit and will call ideas from there, but I don't know if that's confirmed.
Okay, so this is how Janeway imagines their sessions. What are you talking about?
Maybe he's quoting poetry?
Janeway, say something. No, louder. Don't. Come on.
Yeah, come on. Why are you so freaking quiet, you dungo?
I would just be quoting the Fibonacci sequence.
I'm pretty sure the Fibonacci sequence is 4893676999482.
2460451.
8675309.
Yeah, the scene's going on a bit too long. Nothing.
A lot of that in this episode, I think. She's trying.
But she doesn't exist. This is all a cruel ploy by the space ghost to convince her to leave.
Yeah, knowing the ending, it kind of undercuts everything in this episode, which I think makes it severely flawed.
Oh yeah, her crew didn't care about her. This didn't happen. Just, you gotta give up, Kathy. It's time to go.
I know this sounds kind of weird, but Janeway's been kind of portrayed as kind of pragmatic. So maybe she thinks everyone else is.
That's fair, I think. Yeah.
Like there could be some projection going on here.
Yeah, I mean, because it's all in her mind essentially. So it's her projecting her personality onto what she thinks people should be doing rather than maybe what they would be doing.
But I mean, to Vulcans, humans are like dogs, right? Because
Ye-
we just die and they get a new one.
Vulcans live, I think, for about 200 years.
Yeah, but in this timeline, humans live long too, because like on TNG, McCoy was at like what 130 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was on his way out. So screw her.
Okay, now she's projecting.
Did you?
Not really. B'Elanna early on was pretty
Broke Carrier's
subdued.
nose.
Yeah, she's really measured, oddly enough. I think the role of the heel went to Seska early on.
Yeah, definitely, I would say.
Oh yeah, she's totally projecting what her speech would be.
Ah, Janeway, a little self-centered, aren't you?
Although this does remind me, do we have actual Torres being vulnerable episodes?
There's the one where
Uh,
she gets like opposite two fixed.
She gets some
There's
episodes where she
one.
has daddy issues, and she's vulnerable to Tom there.
Not really daddy issues, more like introspection.
There's the one where she wants to change her child stuff because she feels.
Where she
Whatever.
tries to mutilate her unborn child. Yes, that's
Yes, that one.
some.
Oh yeah.
Then he breaks out the flute.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking Ro and Jordy's funeral more.
Yeah.
It
His
had
funeral
the
sucks.
saxophone.
Yeah,
Riker got
this
shot
party
in the
blows.
face. That was fun.
Yeah,
God,
that
Kim,
one.
why are you such a
That's
buzzkill?
great. Yeah, somebody needs to shoot somebody in the face. Somebody shoot Harry.
Henry
in the
could
face.
just start punching
I'm
people.
loving this party.
This is kind of touching in a weird, psychotic way.
Trap.
And you're all
do
you're
you
only
wanna
gonna
bet?
be an ensign.
What do you want to bet real Harry doesn't remember this at all?
Well, it's all in his head. I mean, all in her head. So
Yeah, so
Yeah.
in her head, Harry remembers everything she says, like, oh, she's a bastion of wisdom to me.
Oh yeah.
Real Harry just wants to go to the holodeck.
And fall in love with the hologram. Who falls in love with
Yeah,
Tuvok?
it's like
With a gorilla
fall in
turtle
love-
lady.
and
I
fall
never
in
get
love with the
promoted.
dead woman and fall in love with
With someone. God, there was an episode called Disease where he falls in love with someone at a space station they're visiting.
Yeah.
Did she infect him with something, or was the disease love itself?
the disease was love itself, and he wasn't the one being affected. She was the one being affected, and so she was getting kind of mopey when she was leaving him. But they like really did say, "Oh yeah, it's a chemical imbalance that she's suffering from."
He didn't really love you.
She just wanted that high.
It's like when women date their cocaine dealers. It's the same thing.
What?
Or when
Never
men
mind.
date their cocaine dealers, we
That's true. Yeah, I shouldn't
on.
hold it to.
We can come on. We could be progressive here. Women could be ruthless, psychotic drug lords.
Neelix, we
Definitely,
need to cook.
I know this sounds strange, but wouldn't one of her talking points being, "I need to see them get home first"?
I think
Yeah,
she is going to say that.
I gotta chill for 60 more years.
So, like, if she's actually having a metaphysical conversation with a man, she would say, "Listen, just hold on for me for 60 years. I'll be there when I can."
I mean, I got eternity. It's chill.
Yeah. I could watch
Afterlife's
Samantha
not going anywhere.
Wildman and Naomi grow up.
I could see my dog that's back in the Alpha Quadrant.
I'm pretty sure
No, it'll
that
be
dog's going to die by the time she gets back.
yeah, it will be.
Not the dog.
Her fiance married someone else. Her dog's dead.
Her dog married someone else.
I mean, if the doctor can legally marry a woman. Oh,
And die
and
in like 2 years.
wait, hold on. Did Cass and Balana actually go through toe to toe?
No. Don't worry about that line. It doesn't happen.
Oh shit.
She's alive.
Is this also a dream within a dream?
I think the part on the planet was real.
Okay, I kind of like how pissed he is getting.
I mean, this has got to be such an irritating way to feed. You have to rely on the consent of the person you're trying to consume. It's just a hassle. It'd be a lot easier if he could just use a gun.
I feel like he doesn't need consent if it's just like a Gormangonder or a space whale. But I feel like if something with a big enough consciousness, he kind of has to coax them in. You know what I mean?
God damn it. Could just go find another space whale then. Like, why even bother? There's plenty of space whales in the sea.
It could be
Space
like a
whales
cos-
don't have much neural energy to harvest.
Okay,
but I
fair
feel
enough.
like this is kind of like if you manage to kill a mammoth, you got a lot of meat on hand.
Did anyone see the movie Contact with Jodie Foster?
Yeah,
This is kind of like that, isn't it?
we're capable of such beautiful
At the
dreams, and and now you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Wait, did
Is
they
this
just
what
say
happens
space?
when
Take
you're
in the
near
form of
death?
your elderly father.
I did pass out due to hypovolemia once, where I just kept on waking up and passing out.
And did you see a demon?
No,
Did you attend your own funeral?
no.
Okay.
I remember it very clearly. My vision got smaller and smaller until I was looking through like the size of a coffee stirrer. Then that went black. And then I remember waking up and passing out on the floor. This does remind me about that Reddit post about a guy who had a 2 year long experience in a 5 minute coma.
Would a gun work on a demon?
Doom has answered this question for us.
Yes.
It's worth a
Oh,
shot.
that's a good
literally.
point. So yeah, if Janeway just ran to one of the weapons lockers that are apparently everywhere on starships.
Don't most ships have chaplains? So all she has to do is melt down some holy silver, load it into a gun, and fire it.
like a werewolf?
A werewolf?
Actually, what's really funny is that Silver
I did miss
wasn't
the Mark Twain
introduced
impression.
until Lon Chaney's The Wolfman.
Harvesting
Wolf
neural
man.
energy is by no means a proper activity for a gentleman. Nonetheless.
Wash the deed is done.
I
thought we
Bad
should
that I
watch
was
that again.
We should have a when we finish the original series or the animated series. We should have a run of best of episodes.
Yes,
This one's
Catherine, I've
almost over.
opened a
Let's watch
portal
it
to
now.
hell. Science stuff, you wouldn't understand.
Wait, was this just Event Horizon, but for TV?
Oh shoot! Yeah.
I guess. Where we're going, we won't need sensors. Sensors?
You're
Could we stop monologuing and, like, get her to sickbay? She almost died.
Well, why are they allowing her to sit up? Didn't she be on a stretcher? Hell.
space hell.
Are we to understand that when she actually dies, she's going to go to space hell? Or is that just on this planet, if you die here?
I think it's just this one spot.
Yeah. And this doesn't look like it harbors much humanoid life, so maybe it's used to eating, like...
They just left a warning buoy. Warning! Hell! Stay away. That's why it's called Planet Hell. Oh my god, it's all coming together.
You're a genius. Yeah, because they also told you to take sedatives when you came back. The Janeway Chakotay shippers are happy.
So if most of that was Janeway just projecting personalities, why does she think of the Doctor as a murderer? What did he do to her?
Well, I think it's like that
He
whole...
murdered her.
I-
Obviously.
I think it's that whole computers don't have morality thing. And it's a very binary situation between letting someone
Binary
suffer.
situation. Oh, wow.
Either you let her live and possibly infect the crew, or kill her now and end her suffering. Oh no! He doesn't need even more of an ego.
Okay, so that was Coda. There was a demon for only half of it. I really thought the demon was like 90% of the episode. Apparently it was just Groundhog Day for a while. So that's fun.
Demon Groundhog Day.
Yep.
Let's see, what's coming up next week? Because that's the last episode for today. Next week... Oh, and by the way, we've been missing a couple of streams lately because I've been sick, but I'm okay now. Except for the times I've been muting myself to cough. But otherwise, you know, it's chill.
Get well, Ryan. Come strong. There's much honor in your battle.
What am I battling?
Or if it gets too bad, just walk into a furnace. It'll be
Disease.
Ah, of course.
Hey, I just
Let's
said
see,
that was
next
a
week,
sage.
Blood Fever, where Vorik is going to try to sexually assault one of his co-workers. Unity,
right.
which I don't remember.
Blood
What's Unity?
fever.
Oh, that's the Borg episode.
Okay. Chakotay and the
I
Which
thought
Borg
Blood
episode?
Fever also had the Borg in it, and it just made it
It-
even
yeah.
more of a mess.
Yeah, it was basically like,
Oh,
we
the
found a
Borg
dead
Cooperative.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Darkling, which I feel like is a Kiss episode, but I have to look it up.
It's a Doctor episode.
Oh, evil possessed doctor 3 episodes after evil possessed Kess.
Yes.
Blood
Okay,
fever. Hooray.
I mean, it does introduce a really interesting point where, like, you don't need someone to fight on your behalf. It's more like, no, I don't like you. I'm gonna kick the shit out of you.
Okay.
Fever.
So yeah, that's coming up next week. And then how long until we get 7 of 9? Assuming I don't come down with the phage, 7 of 9 will
Scorpion
be
Part
introduced
1.
September 4th. Part 1 and 2 is September 4th. Okay, cool. And
You know, I just realized something.
yes.
As an antagonist, 7 was really highly competent.
As an antagonist?
Yeah.
What is she? Well, she
Yeah.
kidnaps Tuvok one time.
She, like, tries to start assimilating the crew, but, like, she's smart about it. I kind of wish that they maybe had her, like, have a 3-episode arc where, like, here's where she's introduced, here's where she terrorizes the crew, and this is where we rip out most of her Borg.
Okay.
Yeah, they could have done
So,
more
yeah.
with it for sure.
That's a while from now, about a month. And until then, I mean, this stream's over, so everyone can just leave.
Right.
Be gone.
Blood fever.
Feel free to watch the Mark Twain
Buddy,
episode on your own time.
Check it and see. I got a fever of 103.
Do,
And
do,
click